One day, we'll be looking back on this and we'll say, aren't you happy that we did it our way? Everyone we knew was saying no way, but we were never listening anyway. So don't be just standing in the doorway. Don't you know we gotta hit the highway? Darling, this is gonna be a good day. And I've gotta say that I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. One day, I'll be looking back on this and I'll say, I'm so happy that you said you would stay. There were times I know that I was crazy, fraying at the edges and you saved me. I'm losing count of chances that you gave me. You're laughing at me dancing really badly and telling me the reasons why you'd gladly do it all again. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Well, hey, words can never adequately convey everything you're giving to me today. But holding you is better than a holiday, and leaving you I dread it like exam day. So at the risk of sounding kinda risque, everything to now has been the foreplay. Darling, I would follow you to Norway or anywhere you want it. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. One day, when we're getting wrinkly and our hair's grey, a rusty old banger in the driveway, one of us will maybe wear a toupee, but I will be in love with you.
All right. Welcome, Richie and Linda. Where everybody is, I have no idea. Normally, everybody would be here, but right now they're not. So we're all together, which is absolutely awesome because we are going to get on an emotional journey together in week 3. Oh, there we have Jamie. There we are. Week number 3 of the Public Speaking Academy, and that rhymes. And there's something we always do, the first training of the week. If you put it in the chat, you get 10 points if you get it right. There's always one thing we're doing at the beginning of every single trainings week, and that is we're gonna talk about what? Cheer wins! Oh my god, Richie got just 10 points. They're coming to you in 3, 2, 1. There you go. You caught them. And welcome, Jamie. Hello. Yes, we are talking about wins, and today we are going to do that in a special way because before we do that, I just quickly want to dive in what we already spoke about. And last week we had some quizzes, there were some points. And we're going to go through it one more time just because repetition is the mother of all skill, and the foundational pieces that we already ran through are really the fundamental pieces that will be more and more important throughout this next week once we start to pick the stories, put them in the right places, etc. So this is everybody is on the same team and we want to collect the right information as fast as possible, and we're doing that off mute. Okay, so you can just shout the answers to me. If it's all at the same time, that's absolutely perfect. So please unmute yourself and I'm gonna ask you some questions. All right. How many types of speakers do we have?
3.
Hey,
Oh, everybody. What is the first level of speaker called?
Educational, informational,
Yes, all of you were right. Ah, people are looking at their notes. I love it. You can totally cheat here. Second level, what is it called?
motivational,
thank you.
Oh, this is so good. And the third,
transformational,
which one are we striving for?
transformational.
Transformational.
Can we ever be finished there?
No,
Nope.
Because it's always what?
Unfolding.
Yes, it's always unfolding. Every time we think we're there and there's more.
Evolving.
We're evolving. There's unfoldingness, evolvingness, all of the above. All right. So we have a transformational journey that we basically design before we start to pick stories. We have two different fundaments. What is the first baseline called? It starts with an N and it ends with a W.
The now and the new.
No.
Yes! And Linda, I see you're talking, I just don't hear you. So maybe there's something with the sound. Yes, it's the now and the new. Very good. Now I'm gonna pick one person. Jamie, why is it's so important to define the now and the new before we start picking the stories, doing all these things, even though part of you might think, oh, I just know that. Why is it so important to write it down and to be so crystal clear?
To relate to our audience.
Yes, absolutely. We want to relate to our audience. What do we got more? Why is it important?
Because they have to be able to see themselves in the situation. They need to be able to identify, to emotionally connect with where they are now, but where they want to go.
Yes, very, very good. Because if we drive to that amazing beach of Linda and we're not knocking at their exact door, but we're one street away, they won't arrive at the beach. We know that the beach is amazing. We just need to connect with them first. Now, Richie, what is our goal at the end of a speech, keynote, presentation, quick story? What is the end goal that we have in mind?
the end goal is to be able to take the audience from where they are to where we're trying to take them, to the results, right? Like we're showing them here, it's kind of like a map. Here we're starting here, here's the starting point, and here's the the end result, the pod at the end, whatever you want to call it. And we're driving them in that direction.
Yes, we're driving that in that direction regarding the transformation, right? As a transformational speaker, knowing that earning a fee for speaking is totally possible, but it's certainly not the quickest and the fastest way to impact an income, knowing that we want to sell them something. What is our goal that we have as transformational speaking regarding the sales process?
Oh, there's an offer at the end, right? Like, we have to be some type of offer.
Absolutely. And what can that offer be?
Offer could be, for different people, different things, right? Like it could be an offer where it's like, hey, I don't know, I'm giving you A, B, C, D, like you stack it up with a bunch of value where it's like you make it so irresistible for the person to say no that it's like, oh my God, I see you as this expert. I see you as you're giving me so much value for the little amount of money that I'm going to invest into this, that it's like a yes, right?
Yes. Absolutely. So the offer that we're bringing can be a product, right? It can be a value stack product that people need to pay for, right? Some of you joined because you went to a free masterclass, and then I said, okay, you can join this group. This is how much it's going to cost. But what it can be as well is it can be a free resource, right? A free resource to collect email addresses. So wherever you go, we always want to be intentional. What is the end result? Yes, we want to bring them on the journey where they're thinking, oh, wow, Swellen, she's so cool. I love what Linda's doing. I want what Richie has. I want to work more with Jamie. And then that offer can be a lot of different things, but we always want to have something in mind, because otherwise we don't do only ourselves a disservice, but also our audience, because we can actually bring them on that next level. Make sense? So we always want to have something specific that either they can scan, they can click upon, they can send you a DM to something, and we want to be what I love to call dumb proof. It doesn't work when you say DM me the word speaking. It works when I say, I am going to bring a QR code up the screen. That QR code will be there for 60 seconds. What you're going to do is you're going to grab your phone, you're opening your camera, you're going to scan the QR code, you come to my Instagram, you type message, and you're going to DM me the word speaking. Is that completely clear for everybody? Be ready, because the QR code will be there for 60 seconds and is going to open now. That's a call to action, right? That's specific, that's dumb proof, because when we say DM me the word, it's like DM me where? What word was it exactly? What was the handle? Now it's confusing. We don't want to create confusion. We want to create clarity. So create a call to action that's dumb proof. Swellen, we're doing an overall quiz about everything we learned and why it's so important, so you just know what we're doing. So now the last part, Linda. We talked about 3 types of C's that stories can be part of. Do you remember what the 3 C's are? We still don't hear you, or am I the only person? I cannot hear you.
I don't hear her.
Either.
So you can keep talking and fixing the audio, and I'm sure that Swellen can help you out in the moment, okay? So just keep talking, we still don't hear you. When we're like, oh, you're there, we will hear you. Swellen, the 3 types of C's. Do you remember what they are?
Can't
Now
hear
you're
you
fooling
either.
us. You're fooling us, Swellen.
Yes, I am, because, you know, can you give me a hint? I feel embarrassed.
The 3 types of C's. We
For
start
what?
with
What was it? Wait a minute, what was the question? 3 types of C's for what?
We talked about the importance of stories and how you can have stories in 3 different buckets. And I'm really putting you under the bus. And I do have the belief that people in the chat are helping you out. So just pretend it's not there and just read it out, but just own that you know it. Okay, so there's 3 types of C's. Which one are there, Swellen?
Credibility,
Yes! Oh, really good one. Which one? What was the second one?
coolness,
Yes! Coolness. Very good. Last one?
community.
Yes! Very, very good. 10 points for you. And Jamie, why is it so important that we figure out those 3 different buckets and don't just grab from credibility or just grab from community? Why do we want to have all the pieces covered?
Because that makes us
Oh.
familiar to them. Or was somebody else supposed to do it?
I asked Jamie, but you're helping her out
Sorry,
already,
I'm
which is
sorry.
amazing.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Because people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And so the community, credibility, and coolness help people to know that you're the authority, know what you're about, and then know what makes you unique.
Yes, right? We learn that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. They buy from people they feel they're connected to or they aspire to be like. So what we want to do is we want to give them leverage to learn something about us as a person while they're going through the transformational story, a journey. Now, there's one extra element that I'm not sure that I already tapped upon, so I'm going to reveal that, why we want to do this as well. And that is the power of storytelling. Like, who remembers the experiment with a banana? Where the banana increased in value from 25 cents to $304 just by adding the story, right? So one story adds a certain value, a perceived value of what you are, who you are, and what value you have. What happens as well is that it's not stored in one place of our brain. Who here is a Friends watcher? The series of Friends. So when I say the word 7, 7. 7. It might ring a bell. If you're not true watchers, you don't know this joke, but I think it's really funny, and that's okay. For the people who do know, they will not forget this, because now there's an emotional connection to this specific fact, which helps you remember, because it's stored in multiple parts of your brain, right? Who knows what they've done on June 21st this year? No one except for me, because that's my birthday, right? It's a
Oh, I know
moment
what
in time. Oh yeah, you do. You were there actually, and because we were together in a business meeting on my birthday, which was so cool. But anyways, so certain days have more emotional importance to one versus the other. That's why we remember it and other people don't. So we want to create, let's say, that birthday vibe of emotional connection to what you're saying, so people actually remember you. Let's just say that you become retellable. You might want to write that down. I learned this from a friend of mine, Tim Pollard, who wrote a best-selling book. He said we want to be retellable, because true exponential growth really happens when you are so memorable that other people are going to talk about it. Retellability, where other people are going to brag about you because you're so amazing. You tell such stories with such profoundness. People start to learn how cool you are, what community you're in, how credible you are. And now they are spreading the message, that vision that you have. So what we are about to do, we are going to share some wins. And what I would love, I'm going to send something in the chat, is that we do it through this specific way. You start with saying, who here would love to? And then you end with the result that you want to share as a win. So let me just do an example. Who here would love to get featured in a Zoom room? Okay, what I experienced this week was, and then you're going to tell the story about how you got featured in the Zoom room. And then you're finishing with what you can do is, and then you give some teaching points how you got there. Okay, so don't feel you need to be perfect. We just want to use the win that you want to share as a story, as a teaching point, so you're already learning to implement everything we're talking about. Is it completely clear what I mean with this? With two thumbs up?
Does it need to be a speaking win?
It is amazing when it's an increase in impact and income win. And I love when you make it a speaking win, so you start to see how speaking affects everything that you're doing. Cool? All right, who would love to share a win? Richie. I'll ask you.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. I'm on my phone, not my computer. Sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry. Can you repeat the way to start again?
Yeah, it's also in the chat. So it's like, who here would love?
Who here would love? Okay,
You
I got
start
it.
with the end in mind.
And then
you
the
say,
result.
what I experienced was blah, blah, blah. So what you can do now is.
Got it. Who here would like to make $40,000 in 30 days? um, walk me back again. I'm sorry. Who here would like to make $40,000 in 30 days? What I experienced was, right?
Yep.
Okay. What I experienced was that by making a commitment to myself to say August 1st, I was going to begin posting every day consistently on social media, I was able to attract a client who I was able then to sign a contract consulting agreement with for 1 year, which guaranteed me $40,000 in the first 30 days. And there's a bunch of performance metrics to that if I hit, it could become into a 7-figure client. What was the end part of it? I'm sorry.
So what you can do now.
What you can do.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we want to build a bridge to what other people can like how other people can go through this as well is.
Right. What you could do now is make a commitment to yourself, pick one thing that you're 100% committed to going all in, and then have the courage to take action and move forward.
Wow, that is actually incredible. And Richie, how did speaking and everything you learned influenced that result?
Oh, I mean, my storytelling has just gotten better since I started. And at first it was, just randomly saying stories without really putting much thought. I mean, there was some type of thought in my mind, but not to the level that it is right now. And it's definitely helped me, even with, I've been talking to this client. We've been going back and forth already for we just finalized contracts this on Friday. But we've been going back and forth for like 30 days and all that. And from 30 days to now, just the way that I've been able to articulate my value towards him and being able to show him, like, this is exactly where like, at the beginning I couldn't see it and I was just saying yes because it was an opportunity. Now I could actually see how I could add value. And it's pretty exciting, the journey that's going to unfold in these next 90 days or so.
Wow, that's actually so incredible. And do we start to see that this is now a moment in time that happened this week, that now you can connect to a teaching moment that people can learn from right now, and then you can boil it down to maybe next time 3 points. So we're already practicing with training our mind to always find 3, because it just helps. It's like commit to something you're going to do, or maybe you're even making it super specific. The first step is posting every single day. The second step is interacting with everybody that likes and comments. And then the third thing is creating a call to action where they jump on a call with you. Who's
Right.
willing to commit to those 3 things? Amazing, because I have a free resource that's going to happen. Scan the QR, right? So now we're
Right.
starting to see how this all fits together. That's actually freaking amazing. And today we're going to learn one lens that we're going to include in the next level of our storytelling skills. That is going to be one of the biggest needle movers. And you're going to apply like literally right now. And everything you're going to do is going to be more impactful. And it's just from one specific lens. And there are a gazillion, but this one is going to be fun. So that's a little bit like spoiler, not spoiler for later today. Well done, Richard. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Increíble. What do we got? Some wins. I saw you unmuting, Jamie. Are you going to share?
Oh, I was muted because I was saying goodbye to my husband.
Well, goodbye, husband. And now you got the stage. So, Jamie, what win do you want to share with us?
So who here would like, or who would love to have more clarity and feel like they know the next step, the next right step for their business? And I know I'm not a business coach, but so what I experienced this week was that I've been in kind of a place of feeling a lot of resistance and turmoil and not just unrest in my life in general, but in my business. And what I experienced was I had this moment of clarity that I need to switch gears in my marketing. So moving from Facebook, which is feeling very icky and very not in alignment with my business, into more of a YouTube, not into more of, but into YouTube and into training and being more interactive with customers. And so what you can do is to really take the time to journal, to think about what it is where that misalignment is, because there was feeling like there was so much friction that I just was it was ruining or like getting in the way of everything in my life. And once I had that clarity, now I feel so much better, like a totally different person. I'm excited to work again. I'm excited to be in my business and not just having it feel like this painful, out of alignment ickiness. So.
Woohoo! Jamie is more aligned and doesn't feel icky anymore. That's amazing. And the beauty is that with YouTube, right? YouTube is the only search engine that helps your clients find you because it actually refers more of your content once they start Googling. And they see your face, right? You
Yes.
can use all your speaking knowledge to use into long form content. There's actually someone in the community right now. By the way, you're all invited, right? On Mondays. As long as this speaking training is going, you all have access to extra Monday calls if you want. It's an extra bonus. Linda was there last time. It was really fun. And you also have access to the blueprint in your email. And one of the people in the community, she really wants to blow up her YouTube channel, and she asked, can I use everything I'm learning also there? Well, yes, right? And that's why, Richie, I also asked you, what are the little nuances that you're learning while doing what you're already doing? Because everything that you are really learning, especially like, as well as, I should better say, what you're going to learn today about dialogues, everything is going to compound. These are all 2mm shifts on every part of your business. So let's just say that your YouTube channel, your YouTube videos become a little bit more engaging, so people stay with you longer. So there's more retention rate, which is the algorithm loves. So it's boosting more people, so more people come to your YouTube, so you have more subscribers, so you start to create partnerships. Those partnerships become consultant clients, what Richie is talking about, right? Now you have a passive income stream. So all these things starts to compound. So that's actually an amazing, amazing win. Well done, Jamie.
Thank you. It was like, oh, I feel so much better.
That's good. That's good. And that is the feeling we want to bring along, right? And that's what we're practicing in these places, is that people start to connect with the feeling of it.
Yes.
Linda, how is it with your sound? Can you scream? Bah! No, we just see your mouth opening. This is going to be interesting. If it works for you to come in and out, you're more than welcome to this. I will let you in again, okay? So no worries. And then we're gonna listen to Swellen's win. Swellen, what can we win with you? What can we celebrate with you, I should say? And we love to hear you. And we love to see your shoulders back. There you
Yeah,
go.
I was leaning on the table, so I'm looking around at what wins I can share, and it's just so hard because they're so specific that, I mean, I'm not even sure it makes sense to say anything here.
So if it would make sense to share a speaking win, something that you experienced over this last week, what would you just share?
So who here would love to not have their energy sapped? So what I experienced last week was that I rested, and while I rested, I noticed there was an energy ball here that I hadn't realized before. I became aware of it, and then so my whole body was resting, but that was just full of energy, and it wasn't a very good feeling. And then I switched it off. I don't know, just an impulse to switch it off. All of a sudden, my entire body felt peace, calm, collected, and cool. And then I thought, what could that be? That what could it be? And then I realized that I had been going in overdrive so much in the superhuman strength or all this that it was stuck. So it was kind of stuck, like as if you had a car that you were driving. Wait a minute, I have it here really good. If you were behind the wheel of a high performance sports car and the engine was roaring with power and potential, and you had your RPM needle way up to the red zone and just itching to unleash all of the horsepower. But if you try to sustain, I don't know this yet enough. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to just read it just so that you know the punchline. That level of intensity for too long, you're going to burn out the clutch, overheat the engine, and end up stranded on the side of the road. And that's exactly how I had been feeling for such a long time. And so I found the off button.
Wow. We've got a lot of personal shares over here. And that is the beauty. And the beauty of all of this, and let's kind of like see how, Svalin, we can combine your story with Jamie just to see what the power of a personal experience can be combined with something that may be business related, right? So who here would love to, okay, let's do it all together. Who here would love to secure a $40,000 deal and flowing and thriving in your business? If that's you, please raise your hand. Amazing. So I don't know about you, but as a business owner, I sometimes just work over tour. And yesterday, right now I'm here like refreshed and all, but yesterday I wasn't. Yesterday I felt icky. I felt unaligned. And I was literally lying in my bed with this feeling here, like this ball, and was just turning. And I don't know how to describe it or how to say it. Maybe you recognize this feeling in your body where you just feel, whoa, there is something here. And what I did is I lied down, I took 3 breaths, and the feeling just became peaceful. And instead of feeling tired, I actually felt really motivated. And I started to think, like, isn't that the same in business, right? When we're working too hard, sometimes we just clutter a lot of information in one piece that is not able to flow. Emails on your email, new email addresses on your email list that you're not using. New DMs in your inbox that you're not replied on yet. But when we're taking a breather and we're slowing down, we actually know where we need to go. And that's what I did. So, and then you just keep going. So now you're using a moment in your life, you're using it in the now. We're going to learn more about that. And what we want to do is we want to make it even more specific, right? And that's what we're going to talk about as well. So these are beautiful, beautiful wins. And I want you to keep thinking and keep seeing what moments of my personal life am I going through right now, and what can I write in my story library so when I have an opportunity to speak, I don't need to think, right? Every time Lori asks, what win are you going to share? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask it next week again. And when I say, who here wants to, what do I want to see? Who here has a win? What do I want to see? Who here has a win? Who here has a win? Very good. Yes, right? We want to train the speaking muscle, because when I ask the question, I don't want you to think, oh, do I actually have a win to share? So your decision making is yes or no. I want you to think, what win am I going to share? And that's what I really loved about you, Swellen, right? You had to think a little bit about it. But what you said is, I don't know which win I should share and which one makes sense. So now we just have to use the last bit of doubt, is like, it always makes sense. And I'm just going to ask, what did speaking add to that? Why is this related to speaking? And you will find out that it often has to be it has to connect to being seen, being like speaking up, right? Like taking the chance, taking initiative, and those are all aspects around public speaking. So what we want to do is we want to create the immediate association that when we think people are going to ask us, what's a breakthrough? What's an aha moment? Who has something to share? Can you please fill in because someone got sick? You know, the answer is yes, and then you will figure out how. That is what we're training right here, right now, because I'm going to tell you, there are opportunities always all around us. We just don't spot them. And by training this muscle, you're going to anticipate that they will come, and you will say yes before someone even slightly could ask you, and you will end up in a Shark Tank room, and you're going to sign a contract that's going to earn you millions and millions in the next year because you were ready. And this is actually a client story. So this is all possible. She was just in the place and she did not have a speaking engagement, but she raised her hand when the opportunity got, because we practiced it for 6 months. I'm getting very excited about this because I know it to be true. And the more you're training with this posture, with this excitement and this entrepreneur juice, when I say who gotta win, what are you gonna do? There you go. We want to train it in our body. That's why we're doing it every single time. All right, so enough about that. What I want to share with you is a little future pace of what's going to happen next week and what you can expect tomorrow. So your brain can already get that dialed in and you know what today is adding to that bigger picture. Because on the end, in week 8, you are going to do your full talk in front of us. All right, it's going to not be in Zoom, it's going to be in a really cool program that will be recorded so you get that full footage. What I want you to know is whatever thought of perfection you might have, we pinky promised that progress is our perfection and transformational speaking is always something that evolves. So there's always the perfection of the progress that you're going to get to. So don't feel that you're quote unquote not going to be ready, because you will be. Okay? So in order for you to feel really comfortable and confident, I don't just want you to learn and apply this on wins. I want you to start recording pieces of that talk. And next week, or basically after tomorrow, you're going to create a video where the now of your talk will be explained. Okay? So we have the now and we have the new. And let's just say that's going to take you 5 minutes to bring people from where they are to where they want to go. What is going to happen is that you're looking into the camera and think, how the heck am I going to start? I don't know what story. And I thought what I wrote down was really makes sense. And now I need to do it and I'm completely lost. Or you're going to be like, oh my God, I totally got it. I'm curious what Laurie will think. Wherever you are on that spectrum, just record it. Okay, I'm going to share a drive link with you tomorrow where you can upload it so I can watch it before, so I can give you all feedback based on what I saw. I said to all of you, this is a group program, but I want you all individually to win. So who here is going to commit doing that so you can help me help you? Because if I don't see where you are, it's really hard to help you for where you are. So you're gonna record a video of that now, which is around 5 minutes. A little shorter is great. Don't do 20. Just don't do 20. Do around 5. And the goal is that you bring people from where they are and you lead up to the transition to the new. You don't know yet how to transition. You don't know yet how this exactly is going to go. So don't put yourself so much pressure that you should know all of this. Okay? But you are going to create a video and you all promise, so I'm going to expect that now. Yeah, so tomorrow we will really talk about like how this is going to fit together and how you're going to use the story to the teaching moments. But basically, it's what we just did, right? You have an aim, which is you're going to share a win. The win is a certain result that now is a result you want to give to other people, right? Now you connect in personal experience, which is what happened to you this week. And you use that as a vehicle to share these 3 things that then lead to the result. Does it start to make sense how this all fits together, even though it might be hard to apply it to you personally? But does this start to be understandable theoretically? Yeah? Perfect. Then what I would love to talk about now is actually one thing that I noticed by listening to everybody share. And by the way, Linda, does your sound work? Well, the lip reading works, I have to be honest. So this is going to be a hard time listening to your win. So maybe if somehow it works through the settings or whatsoever, you can still join. Otherwise, I will just share the information, okay? Is that good with you? Perfect. All right. So one thing that I noticed in listening to all your wins is the rule of the stupidity that I just explained. Okay. So when you share, and Linda, this is a beautiful word, yet. It's not working yet. So there you go. So when you want something from an audience, which I'm going to stimulate you all to do. This is what we call engagement loop. So we want to engage the audience. We want to make it crystal clear what we want from them. So when we start with the sentence, who here would love to be rich and fulfilled all the time? Well, so now you're raising your hand because I asked it before. So now it's kind of like that's our rule in this group. But outside of this group, they don't know. So now people are like, well, me. And now they're looking around. Am I forgetting to do something? Should I do something? And now people are thinking about what they should do instead of answering the question. So what happens to the focus? Is it clear or is it confusing? It's confusing. When we confuse, we lose. Why is that? Right? Because people are going through another part in their brain. So they're going to another thought loop. So in order for us to come back to that, it takes a little energy. What our brain really doesn't like is spend energy. And what costs a lot of energy is switching from thought to thought. Right? We have a difference between multitasking and switch tasking. Multitasking is when we can actually do two things at the same time and when 100% of our focus can be divided because one we need to focus and maybe one we're playing with our hands. That's something that can be combined because that together is not overreaching the 100%. But when we're listening, we're paying attention and our thoughts go somewhere, it's more than 100% and we have to lose something. And that something is there. So imagine people lose the thought, you keep talking, and people come back after, let's say, 15 seconds. They first have to get caught up with what they missed, and then they already missed, and then they're like, oh, I missed something. Now they have this internal dialogue that you're not controlling. You want to control the internal dialogue at all times, because leaders are speakers, and speakers are leaders. So what you want to do is if you want something from the audience, you're going to be super clear in what it is that you want. So let's do literally a round all together without sharing the win, but just doing the thing. So who here would love to, and then you fill it in, and then you ask the audience to do something, whatever it is. It can be, sometimes I say, you make a crazy face, or you nod yes, or you say yes, or you raise your arm, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So, Richie, do you want to do the first sentence again, based on what you just shared?
Sure. Who here would like to make $40,000 in 30 days? If that's you, then please raise your hands.
Great. That was really, really great. Jamie.
Who wants more clarity? What's the word?
Clarity.
Clarity.
Can you do that one more time and then emphasize? So, for example, like this: who would love to move to have more clarity? If that's you, then say clarity, or then repeat that word, or make it like really, really clear and make the emphasis on it. So, one more time.
Who here would love to have more clarity in what their next step is? If that's you, repeat after me. What's the word? Clarity.
Clarity. Good, good. Swellen.
So can I do the same one she's doing, or do you have a different?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So who here would love to have more energy? What's the word? Energy.
Energy. Yeah.
Energy.
If that's what you want, repeat after
energy.
me.
Sorry.
Energy. Repeat after me.
Repeat after.
Energy.
There you go. So now you're directive, right? So one more time, Swellen.
So who here would love to have more energy? Repeat after me. Energy.
Energy. There you go. And with the hand, it gets clear, right? Because now we want to be directive. That's what we want to do. So there's no confusion. And when the momentum in the beginning is high, you can ride the wave. If the momentum in the beginning is a little uncomfortable, you have to work for that to get back on track. So the beginning is really important, and we can practice the beginning all over again, which is amazing, and that's what we're doing now. So Linda, you're going to do it as well, and we're going to do it based on your non-verbal communication, which is actually just as important. So keep talking for yourself. We cannot hear you, but that doesn't matter.
Would love to get control of your life. Say control.
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 We heard you. Oh my
And
God.
we can
That was
hear
really cool. That was really cool. Right? So that's beautiful. So now we start to feel in our body that this is how we can start, and we can own the control. Like literally what Linda just said. Make sense? So we really want to keep it dumb proof all the time. And what you're going to see in the videos as well, because I'm going to watch them and we're going to probably use one as an example or to hot seat some, is that when you keep being the leader of attention, you're doing a really good job. When people are getting away from your story, that's where we want to notice it and use an engagement loop. We're going to learn more strategies. So every time, let's see it like this, okay? We're controlled, the energy is high, high, high. Now it gets a little soft, which is okay. But now the focus goes down. So we want an energy loop again. And we want an energy loop again. And we want to keep it high all the time and pay attention when it gets like this, because then we need to work a lot again. Make sense? So that's what we're doing here. Okay, the tip that I want to share with you now, how you can use every single story and increase it right away, is when you add a dialogue. And you might want to write that down. This is one of the focus lenses that we're going to look through when you're sharing your story. This lens is what I call dialogue. So there's a different way of telling a story. For example, this is actually a fun one. The first time that I got a really, really important speaking keynote, I was really excited. And I started preparing 2 months in advance, okay? So I have a speaking coach myself, and I practiced my keynote. And then I got advice that was not so good. And I needed to practice more and more and more. So what I learned is that dialogue is really important. Okay, that's one way of saying the story. What I can say as well is I had a really super cool speaking keynote for the first time, and I was so excited that I started preparing 2 months in advance. Now, I have a speaking coach myself as well, so I prepared with this person, let's say with Jamie, and then I stood in front of her and I practiced the keynote out loud, and then Jamie said, "Lori, this is not so good. You need dialogue in your presentation." And that's what we did. And now it's so much better. Who can tell me what the difference, or let's first say, because it's a very short piece, it's not completely optimized. I was looking through the lens of dialogue. Which one do you resonate more with? Raise your hand now if it's the first version. Raise your hand now if it was the second version. Okay, very clear. It's 100% score. Richie, why did it resonate with you more?
The second version was more, it was like in a story format better. It just had me more engaged.
It had you more engaged. Interesting. Jamie, what about you?
You had more inflection, and it went through more of the energy loop.
Yes. I made that word up, energy loop. It's cool, huh? Linda.
A good one. Works.
I actually could relate and felt like I was there with you, listening to the conversation.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is what happens. And did you see that I did not use more time?
Correct.
It's sometimes we think in order for us to really engage with a specific audience, we need more time because storytelling takes time. What I love is when we're thinking, okay, we have a certain amount of time. We want to get our aim clear. We want to know where people now are and where we want to bring them. What story is going to facilitate the transformation, and how can we tell that story in the most optimized version of it? So we use the time efficiently and effective to connect with them on an emotional level, and then give them a call to action, because it should not be the end anyways. So maybe we can even reframe: the shorter we have, the better, because now more urgency comes to spending more time with us. So just by looking through the lens of dialogue, the only thing that was changing is that I said I pretended that I played the voice of the person talking to me like it was present. Now, what is interesting is Jamie said you had more influxes. I was not paying attention to that. What you will find out is once you start to use dialogue, which basically means you time travel to that moment, right? You're saying this is now. You time travel to the moment that you actually experienced it, and you kind of quote unquote play it out like it's happening now. This can also happen with internal dialogues, because I was listening, right? Richie, in your win, you have someone else. So you can use the dialogue with that person that you had. I looked at the DMs and I saw, I want to talk to you. So I rang this guy and he says, not said, he says, hey dude, I'm ready. Right? Just by that, it changes the whole energy. It changes the whole emotion. So by time traveling to that moment, using a dialogue, you already start to naturally do all of that. So we're not gonna say, listen, Richie, I want you to put your hands here in a very awkward place because it gives you control. Linda, I want you to write every single word down so you have your script. So you're going to do it very, very practiced and prepared. You're going to understand we have an aim, we have a foundation, you have a story library. You're learning how to tell those stories in the most optimal ways. And when you do all of that, you will do the rest automatically. And people will say, wow, it just seemed like you were there yourself and it really resonated with you. And that's the goal. The goal is that people want to work with you and that they felt connected, not that you are the quote unquote best speaker according to the rules of script writing. The goal is that people actually resonate with you and people ask, can you speak more? Because this was so amazing. This was so transformative for me. So we just have 10 minutes left. Rachel, you were the first one raising your hand. I want to celebrate that. So would you mind telling your win one more time? Now, knowing that we own it from the beginning, and then you're going to tell the exact same win. You're not going to change the content. You're just using the dialogue filter now. And then we're going to see everybody who's not speaking. Let's first hold space for Richie because this is pretty cool. And he's like put under the bus now, or like you're basically the driver of the bus. It's pretty cool. And we're gonna notice what is he doing that we can implement as well, and do we have something that maybe even adds more value so he becomes better next time. So Richie, the floor is yours.
Okay. Give me the prompt again, really
Who
quick.
here would love?
Yeah, got it. Okay, got it. Okay. Who here would love to make $40,000 in the next 30 days? If that's you, then please shout as loud as you can so that energy in this room could just come up. Awesome. Awesome. Glad I'm not speaking to myself. I'm glad I'm not the only one that wants to make $40,000. So here's how I was able to make $40,000 in the last 30 days. See, it all started with one commitment. For past 6 months, I was so scared to get in front of a camera and speak. Literally terrified. Yet, as soon as I was able to center myself, to pray, to meditate, to get into an alignment with me and see that this fear that I have of being seen on a camera is a false limiting belief that was actually holding me back. Then I made a commitment and I said, starting August 1st, I'm going to record and I'm going all in. And when I mean all in, that means I'm going to post 2 videos a day. I'm going to go down the stories and I'm going to make 4 stories every day. And I started doing that. And see, what happened was that as I began to do that, well, my Instagram account started growing. I had 50, 60 followers when I started. I'm up to 700, 800 in the past 40 days. But something pretty cool happened. This one guy, a doctor out of Miami, reached out to me. And he's like, yo, Richie, man, I love what you're doing. I love that you are motivating people. I love your energy. And I love that you are selling and empowering people here in Miami. Dude, what a funny story. See, I'm also local from Miami. I'm a doctor, a cosmetic dentist doctor, and my biggest issue, man, is sales. I hate it. I don't even know. I don't understand it. would it be cool if we could get on a call and see if maybe you could help me? I'm like, of course, dude. Yes, that's exactly why I started doing this in the first place. Awesome. We hopped on a call, figured it out, and it was like, you know what? That call turned into a meeting. That meeting turned into not only a meeting with Dr. J, but then with his sales manager from one team, the sales manager from the other team. And I was actually able to get in there and see, like, dude, you have a great business, makes $12 million a year, by the way, amazing business, but we could actually tweak a couple things, train your team to actually be salespeople, and streamline your sales process to go from 12 to 20. Does that sound pretty cool? Yeah. Okay, how do we do that? Sign me up. Okay, well, this is how we do it.
Yes. For
Amazing.
you to get the same results, there's 3 steps that I went through. Who's ready to learn the 3 steps so you can achieve that result as well? Oh my God, now people are taking notes, right? So what did we learn from this specific thing? And it was so cool because, oh, Richie, this was first of all very well done. How did you feel?
I feel good. I think at the end I kind of like lost. I towards the end I was already like, oh, what's the next step? Where am I supposed to go? Okay, I don't know how to end it.
That's okay.
I just kind of stopped talking. I kind of like blanked out. I was like, okay, I'm in the conversation now. What's my next step? What am I supposed to say now?
Yeah, let's talk about those 20 minutes. Yeah, that go. Yeah, no, this is great. So now the question remains, right? Like in the process, nice. How do you end these things? This is what you're going to learn. So know that you don't need to know that yet, but you will. What audience did we feel like? Let's just ask it in a more specific way. What was the difference for you to listen? Compare the first version to now the second version.
I would have
Well,
actually
Oh,
called him.
Linda first, then Swellen.
Okay, I would have called him because the second version, there was such energy in it compared to the first. So it was like, wow, what does he do? What's his magic? Whereas the first one, it was more of a monotone type speech. The second one really got me excited and would have called him.
Yes. Okay, this is really cool because Jamie said to me, like you had more inflex. Now you were less monotone. Did we focus on that, Richie? Did we
No.
think, oh, we should not be monotone? Did we focus on that? Did we have that one thought one time in our mind?
No.
No. So we can train all along. Okay, now a bit lower, now a bit higher. Now, oh, it needs to be that. And now you're going to think, right? Now you're in your script. Now you're in your head because now you should not be monotone. So now we're focusing what not to be. So now we're actually more of it. So now we're really focused on ourselves. Now we're going to freeze. We're going to blank out. We don't know what to say anymore because we're so here. We're so here, right? So it's not connected to the part that actually just thrives when we're here. So now Richie is going back to that moment. He sees what he saw. So now he gets very passionate. So now we want to, create some ground rules and like what is the end? What is the transition when you made your point, right? So you're not like going on a tangent and think, oh my God, I told everything about this meeting, right? So what are the most important parts? But this was so much more engaging just by the way he was feeling about it himself. That was a really good one. Swellen, what did you want to add?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I already love the first one. I want to earn that kind of money, but that one was just really engaging. It was it did kind of pick me up and take me along, but not the whole time. It was really good. I loved it. Yeah.
Super. That was really good. Jamie, what specific words did he add that he did not add in the first version? And I'm going to help you if this is a really hard question.
He didn't talk about the guy being from Miami. He didn't talk about them being in the same city, what type of doctor he was. He didn't talk about his team. It was very surface the first time.
Yes.
That was amazing, Richie. Good job.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now, and I know we have 2 minutes left, but let's finish it with this. What does Miami for you associate? You can put it in the chat. What does Miami for you associate? I have my own association, but everybody has their own. What for you does Miami associate? What pictures do you see? What connections do you make? What does it mean to you? Dolphins, okay. Okay, see, now this is great because we all have different associations. Family, vacation, money, what else? Ocean, what else? Florida, yes. Okay, so maybe who here has family in Florida? Who here has been in Florida? Who has been here for an event in Florida? Who here associated with high-level entrepreneurship? Who here associated with high-level enjoyment, right? Are these memories that you connect with an emotional emotion?
Mhm.
Yes. So what is Richie doing? He is saving now his story in what you feel about Miami, right? He's using dentist as an example. So now we're starting to understand, okay, this kind of businesses are you in? This is very interesting because he comes for me, and this is how I associate, but this is so personal. That's why it's so beautiful. I associate Miami with a Valhalla of business. I'm like, dude, you're in the place where it happens. I fucking love it, right? So this is, I appreciate regarding my entrepreneurial view of what I have, but it's some people connected with dolphins, and it's not better or worse. It's just what I associate to it. Then dentist, I'm thinking, oh, he comes across like very sales and all these things. Dentist, that's health. Oh, how interesting. So now what I'm connected to is a piece of coolness slash community and a piece of credibility, because it shows, like, sometimes the credibility can already be energy and the way you talk, right? He's like, yeah, I looked at your sales process and I saw a little tweak. I'm like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? So do we start to see that in just this little piece, he's really able to engage on a deeper level? He is connecting to more of our human wiring by using specificities. We talked about it a little bit before, but now you start to see, once we focus only on dialogue, a lot of things happen automatically, right? So what we did today was incredible. Like, you did not just share your wins. You're now starting to put them a little bit more into a structure that's actually the fundament of everything that we're doing. You started with a clear focus. This is the focus that you're going to start that video of yours, right? You're going to lead the conversation. You're going to learn more about hooks in general, but you want to start with clarity and direction, and this is it. You know, it doesn't need to be more fancy. You can always go more fancy, but let's first build a foundation that always works. So you start with an opening. Now you know where you want them to bring, right? That where you want them to bring is the result. What's the result you got? Now, in this case, is how do you want to earn $40,000 in 30 days? Well, everybody's in. So now you know, okay, this is where we're going to. Now you're sharing a story. Now the next time, and this is for later, Richie, is maybe this is going to be the bridge of the storyline. I know you have way crazier stories that might be more engaging on an emotional level, right? But you start to be able to create a story, a headline, and then multiple pieces. This is a little too complicated, but basically you can combine different stories later. Right now, we want to create the now. We want to be clear of the aim. What's the end of the now? Even if it's not completely clear what was for you, Richie, now, that's completely okay. We want to tell that story and want to think, what's the dialogue going to be? It can also be an internal dialogue being, and I was thinking maybe I'm not good enough. And the thought in my mind kept coming, am I good enough? See, you already start to change the voice just by using the internal dialogue because you're actually playing it out. So tomorrow, you're just going to show up. You're going to just put on the Zoom link. I'm going to give you a video of someone that I helped creating a TEDx talk using the same strategies that you are learning. I'm going to give that to you, or I mean, it's online, but I'm going to share the link with you that in case you want to watch it, you can do that already today. You can do that before you're going to record the video. The goal of me sharing that is not that you're now seeing this is what I have to do as well. He practiced a little bit, you know. But what I want you to see is how he's using one story or one picture statement to make his point, because he's making multiple. So I want you to start seeing how this can all weave together, so you see the end result as well, because I know some of you really need to see where this is going to understand what it is that we're doing now. For some of
Yeah.
you, it might be less important. You know what your learning style is. Okay? So basically, I'm going to share that YouTube link so you can watch it. Tomorrow, we're going to go through different piece. We're going to practice some other things. And at the end of tomorrow, you're going to create that first video that's around 5 minutes. And you're going to do that preferably this week, so I can see it way before the training and we can start. Yeah, your sound works, Linda. This is great. And then we can start recording all of that. Cool?
Fantastic.
Cooley, all right, see you all tomorrow. The replay
Thank
will
you,
be
Lori.
added to your portal. Mwah.
Mwah.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.